For decades, civil engineering relied on a simple visual language for safety. A straight, concrete-lined channel looked controlled. It looked tidy. The underlying logic treated natural watercourses like municipal plumbing. The objective was to move water away from human settlements as quickly as possible, routing it straight to the ocean. The consequences of that approach are visible here in Sidmouth, Devon, where the River Sid cuts through the Red Cliffs to meet the English Channel. The River Sid is what is known as a flashy river. During heavy storms, the water level rises and falls with violent speed, funneling immense volume down the catchment in a matter of hours. To tame that volatility, engineers built walls and steps to break the flow. But recent surveys by local volunteers revealed the cost of that control. 28 distinct structural barriers now completely sever the river's natural path. The largest of these is the School Weir in a park known as the Bies. It is a 2.5-meter high wall of rushing water that acts as a superfragmenter, effectively blocking native migratory fish from moving upstream. In the pursuit of safety and neatness, human infrastructure turned a dynamic ecosystem into a sterile canal where few species can survive or travel. Reversing this decline requires a different approach. The 2024 River Sid Catchment Plan moves away from concrete and clean edges, opting instead to make the river intentionally chaotic. This starts with natural flood management, or NFM. Instead of building taller walls down in the town to contain floodwaters, NFM aims to trap and slow the water miles upstream. Backed by a 250,000-pound initiative, teams are constructing leaky dams in the upper streams. These are porous barriers built from stacked logs and woody debris that hold back peak storm surges, letting the water drain slowly. Planners also work directly with local farmers to reduce agricultural soil compaction. This stops heavy, muddy runoff from washing into the river and suffocating the gravel beds where trout lay their eggs. The plan introduces tree kickers to the main channels. Conservationists fell massive bankside trees into the river, securing them with steel cables. The fast-moving water hits these obstacles, forcing the current downward. This scours the riverbed, excavating deep pools where fish hide and rest. Above the water, a technique called skylighting involves selectively cutting back the dense canopy. Striking the river with patches of dappled light triggers a surge in the growth of aquatic plants and native invertebrates. To an untrained eye, the river looks unkempt, but every felled log and broken canopy is a piece of engineered ecological scaffolding designed to slow the water and cultivate life. A thriving, messy river cannot be abandoned. It requires an organized network of human volunteers to actively curate it. Through the Opening the Sid initiative, the community is physically modifying the riverbed. They are installing bypass channels and executing minor rock easements to conquer the School Weir and the 27 smaller barriers blocking the route. Removing these blockages reopens miles of spawning ground for threatened migratory species, like the European eel, allowing them to finally navigate upstream from the ocean. But a newly fertile ecosystem immediately attracts biological threats. The river is currently battling aggressive invasive plants, specifically Himalayan balsam, which destabilizes the soil and chokes out native flora. Suppressing it requires physical labor. Every week throughout the summer, a volunteer squad, the Sid Bashers, wades into the mud to manually uproot the balsam before its seed pods can detonate. They are backed by scientific oversight. Citizen scientists in the Riverfly program conduct monthly insect counts, using the health of local bugs as an early warning system to detect sudden drops in upstream water quality. In 2025, the Catchment Group upgraded this monitoring network. They installed automated sensors along the banks that feed real-time phosphate and nitrate levels directly into regional environmental databases. The community has become the river's immune system. By constantly suppressing pollution and invasive species, they provide a safe environment for the native chaos to flourish. By 2026, the River Sid exists as a reconnected blue corridor. Biological indicators are returning to the newly mapped riparian zones. Surveys confirm that healthy populations of water voles and otters are now hunting and resting along the naturalized waterways. The river's health is now dictating coastal policy. The Catchment Plan coordinates with the Sidmouth Beach Management Plan, ensuring that sea defenses at the river's mouth do not trap migrating fish during low tides. The work on the Sid now serves as a foundation for the wider Devon Nature Recovery Plan,
offering a map for how other catchments can reintegrate these habitats. The Sid's recovery shows that a healthy river doesn't come from leaving it alone or paving it over. It comes from a community working to keep the landscape complex.